From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
Good afternoon, I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is joining me here on the News at Noon with a check of our forecast. Todd, it was a wet morning commute for Hoosiers all across central Indiana and areas to the north. What can we expect for our lunch hour?
You know, there's still a little bit of rain out there, Lauren, but we're finally getting rid of it. And in northern locations, the sun is already shining. So let's take a live look at radar and we can show you exactly where the rain is continuing to fall. And that's just only right now in southern locations. So from Indianapolis to the north, you are done with the rain. A little bit of lightning there as well in the Greensburg area, but this will be pushing off towards the south pretty quickly and then off to the south and west a little bit further. A few isolated downpours in Bloomington and Bloomfield, as well as the Seymour area. But as we go over to the satellite radar picture combined, you can see all the clear skies here up to the north, and the clearing trend is going to continue to move to the south with the rain showers and the clouds departing, and it's really going to turn into a beautiful afternoon for just about everybody. You can see that sunshine looking to the north on the Weather Now camera network. So throughout the afternoon hours, clouds decrease. By this evening, it is mostly sunny. And how about the temperatures? Mid-60s right now, going up to about 76, 77 degrees here this afternoon for your high. Sets us up for a nice stretch of weather overnight tonight and into the rest of the week. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you. New this midday, the city says they are one of the keys to preventing violent crime in the city. 4 groups now have grant money to use as part of their individual missions, as well as the collective goal of keeping people from getting into trouble. Today, those 4 groups were each awarded $75,000 as part of Mayor Joe Hogsett's Crime Prevention Grant Program. Those backing the program say their work is just as important to public safety as that of law enforcement.
This year, we wanted to take a little bit of a different approach. I have 3 words for you: prevention, intervention, and interruption. We challenged the community organizations that applied for these grants in those 3 categories.
Well, the 4 groups to receive the grants are Recycle Force. They help provide jobs to at-risk workers as well as offenders who have completed their sentences. Voices, which is a community arts organization, Community Action of Greater Indianapolis. They provide a number of different services. And finally, the Edna Martin Christian Center. They provide violence reduction and mental health services for young adults. New this midday from WRTV investigates the city of Muncie facing yet another excessive force lawsuit involving its police department. Lonnie Ganem has filed suit in Delaware County Circuit Court against 4 police officers. Ganem says she was beaten excessively in the face during an arrest that happened 2 years ago. As WRTV investigates reported in March, 3 of the officers named in that lawsuit have already been indicted on federal charges of using excessive force. One of those officers, Chase Hinkle, has now been named in a total of 4 lawsuits filed against the city. WRTV has reached out to attorneys for the officers as well as Muncie's police chief for comment. We are still waiting to hear back. State police are hoping you can help them to track down a possible witness to the police shooting death of Drajon Reed back in May. Investigators say they want to speak with anyone who is in this SUV. Take a look at your screen. This was seen at the intersection of 62nd Street and Michigan Road on the day of the shooting, May 6th. IMPD says that Reed was killed after an exchange of gunfire with an officer. Attorneys for Reed's family say that Reed was not carrying a gun at the time of the shooting. If you think you have any information on this vehicle, you can call state police at 765-778-2121. Just over an hour from now, Governor Holcomb will give a statewide address that his office says will be about equity and inclusion. No other details about the speech have been released so far. However, it comes one day after a video released by his Democratic opponent in the governor's race, Dr. Woody Myers. In this 3-minute video, Myers talks extensively about the racism he says he experienced as a young man in Indianapolis and in the medical system. The governor's speech will be held at 1:30 this afternoon, and you can watch it live on our website, WRTV.com. Newly reported cases of COVID-19, according to the state, are up, and it was a big increase in newly reported deaths. 28 deaths were added to the state's total today. That moves the state closer to the 3,000 mark as officials continue to monitor COVID-19 deaths. 850 new cases of the coronavirus were also reported. However, the number of people being treated for the virus in hospitals dropped below 900 for the first time since late July. COVID-19 is overwhelming some parts of the healthcare system, and with the flu season right around the corner, that has some doctors worried. Our own Rafael Sanchez sat down with the U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Jerome Adams. The Indiana native shared his concerns for Hoosier families.
What do we do? Do I have COVID-19 or do I have the flu? The symptoms may appear to be the same, but they're not.
We actually have the opportunity to have one of the best flu seasons we've ever had in terms of low rates and low numbers of people dying, if we do our part to lower transmission of COVID. We also have the opportunity to have a very bad flu season. And again, it comes back to Hoosiers making up their mind. I talk about my 3 W's. There's a 4th W, and that's the will. We have to have the will to do the right thing. And I'm convinced that Hoosiers will do the right thing. I'm not in D.C. anymore. I'm back in Indiana. People are practical. They want to do the right thing. And I just want to make sure we continue to give them the information and the facts to do the right thing so that we can have a safe and sustained reopening.
Well, Dr. Adams is Indiana's former state health commissioner. He also says that he's concerned that the Labor Day holiday weekend could lead to a spike in COVID-19 cases. You can watch Rafael's entire conversation with Dr. Adams right now by going to WRTV.com. New this midday, the NCAA says that it will decide next month whether the beginning of college basketball season will be delayed due to the pandemic. The season is scheduled to start November 10th as of now, but the NCAA says it has a contingency plan in place if health concerns force a delay. The Big Ten is one of the conferences that postponed its football and other fall sports, and the conference hopes to play those sports in the spring. The president of the NCAA has already endorsed the idea of playing the 2021 college basketball tournaments in a bubble location, similar to how the NBA is finishing its season. Tonight is the night it becomes official. Next, a preview of Joe Biden's nomination to run for president and a look back at a star-filled first night of the Democratic convention. Todd.
And Lauren, it was a very wet start to our day all across central Indiana, and it's still raining in some areas, but the good news is the skies, they are starting to clear. As you look from downtown to the north, you see all that blue sky in the distance. The clouds will depart downtown shortly, going to linger a little bit longer in southern locations, but overall, great forecast going forward. We'll share it with you when the News at Noon continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. Tonight at the Democratic convention, Joe Biden officially gets his party's presidential nomination. Last night, the virtual convention began with a call to arms from a former First Lady. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
The keynote speech, delivered by a non-politician, former First Lady Michelle Obama, was a searing indictment of her husband's successor.
Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head.
She issued a dire warning about a Trump second term.
If you think things cannot possibly get worse, trust me, they can. We have got to vote for Joe Biden like our lives depend on it.
And she used the same words President Trump used to describe the soaring COVID-19 death toll against him.
They are dying. That's true. And it is what it is.
He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us. It is what it is.
Polls show the coronavirus is the #1 issue for voters. Others making the case for Joe Biden were a former rival.
To heal the soul of our nation, Joe Biden will end the hate and division Trump has created.
A woman whose father died from COVID-19.
His only pre-existing condition was trusting Donald Trump, and for that, he paid with his life.
And Republicans who have endorsed Biden.
Joe Biden is a man for our times that call for all of us to take off our partisan hats and put our nation first for ourselves and, of course, for our children.
Joining those critical of the president is a former top Trump administration official. Appearing on Good Morning America, former DHS Chief of Staff Miles Taylor called Trump unfocused and undisciplined.
We were constantly in a position with the president where it's not that he would just tell us to do things that we would say are inappropriate, unethical, or illegal. It's that he would continue to consistently tell us to do those same things.
On Twitter, the president called Taylor disgruntled. As for Michelle Obama, he tweeted that, quote, Donald Trump wouldn't be here in the beautiful White House if it weren't for the job done by your husband, Barack Obama. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
We will have live coverage of tonight's main speeches at the Democratic National Convention. It all starts at 10 p.m. You can watch that here on WRTV. If you see someone not wearing a mask who should be, this may be a solution. Next, an inventor and a YouTube star you might want to avoid if you happen to be maskless in public. And let's take a live look outside right now. This is down in Bloomington at the campus of Indiana University. A lot of students moving in this week to campus, and it's not a great day out there. We'll check in with Todd and see what we can expect for the rest of the day and our forecast and the rest of the work week coming up. Well, he promises he isn't after vigilante justice, but an inventor who's become a star on YouTube believes he has the solution for the person who won't put on a mask even when they're required to do so in public. Jeannie Mose has his story.
If people not wearing masks have you gritting your teeth behind yours, lock and load.
3, 2, 1.
The mask gun actually exists, though even its creator.
It works! Now let's shoot some people.
Wouldn't fire it uninvited. Still, it was a good way to vent at what he calls
mask holes. Guns and public safety. Boom! Best of both worlds.
Alan Pan is a YouTube inventor with a degree in electrical engineering, known for creations like his burning lightsaber.
Yes!
Alan used auto parts to make a pneumatic mask launcher with weights attached to the strings.
Wrap around and get tangled up so the mask gets stuck right on his face.
Add some tape.
Like doubly ensure that this thing actually sticks to a face.
He says he was partly inspired by Homer Simpson's makeup gun.
Oh, look what you did. Now I have to go get my cold cream gun.
Dad, women won't like being shot in the face.
Alan had some beginner's luck.
Oh my God!
It worked on the first try. Then it became clear that first shot was a fluke.
I accidentally strangled this dude instead of putting a mask on his face, so we're ready for human trials. Mask on, point blank, 3, 2, 1.
So does it hurt to get shot by the mask gun?
It feels like someone's slapping you in the face with a piece of paper. It's relatively gentle.
The face was usually missed. When Alan had folks field test the mask launcher in Huntington Beach, California. Though the mask fired by this guy hit its target and stuck for a nanosecond, fans suggest Alan deserves a Nobel Prize. He laughs off his worst critics.
They're like, well, if I see you with that gun, I'm going to shoot you with my real gun. So I think it's kind of great. I mean, it's angry, but it's also kind of lovely.
Alan has no plans to make more mask launchers.
It wouldn't even have to work. I think it just has enough intimidation factor.
He only wishes mask wearing would become fully automatic. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Pretty creative there. Okay, so most NBA players haven't seen their families in a while as they play out their season at the League Bubble down in Orlando. So last night, before Game 1 of their playoff series, the Toronto Raptors not only helped out some homesick people, they also may have put on the best pregame introductions the league has ever seen. Take a look.
At guard from Rockford, Illinois, number 23, Fred Van Vliet. Yay! From Villanova, the 6th All-Stars, North Philly to your city, number 7, Kyle.
Well, that's pretty adorable. Family members of all the Raptors starting five took over the public address duties before the game. It must have worked as the Toronto Raptors beat the Brooklyn Nets 134-110. I think we could kind of jazz those up every time, Todd. I like that.
All right, yeah, it's good for them to see their families when they're down there in the bubble playing. So I'm sure they love that. Boy, were those kids cute.
Oh, yeah.
All right, nothing cute about the weather this morning, Lauren. As you well know, we were dealing with that rain moving through. We're almost done with it, and I know I've been advertising some really, really nice weather heading our way, and it's still on track. It's going to arrive here this afternoon, and then it's going to be with us in the coming days. Here's a live look at WRTV radar right now, and you can see still some rain and a few thunderstorms down out in the Greensburg area, Decatur County. They're starting to push out of the area, though, down towards Versailles. And then there's a few isolated downpours here from Nashville to Bloomington, back towards Bloomfield, one there near the Seymour area as well. No lightning there, though. That's just a quick moving downpour, and that is just about it. So as we go throughout the course of the afternoon hours, the trend will be for these clouds and the showers to depart. You'll get rid of the rain first, and then you'll get into sunshine. Now, the sun's already shining in Lafayette, as well as Kokomo and Peru. Even Muncie is cleared out. The clouds approaching downtown Indianapolis, as you can see, and they'll continue to push off to the south as we work our way throughout the course of the afternoon and evening hours. So the further south you are, it's going to take a little longer for the clouds to move out, but eventually they do. And then later on this evening, skies are going to be completely clear, as you see on TrueCast. Here's the view from downtown to the north, and you can see in the foreground, which is the very top of your screen, there's still some clouds in downtown, but off in the distance, you can see all the clear sky that we have out here, and that's the sunshine that'll move in throughout the afternoon hours. And the temperatures are really, really comfortable, where the clouds are still in place. We're in the 60s, but notice the jump. As soon as you get into the sunshine, you'll go up into the mid 70s. That's where Lafayette is, that's where Peru is, and that's where everybody will get eventually. Again, if you're in southern locations, you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. Should get up to right around 76 degrees for your afternoon high. Here, about 77 in some locations with low humidity. And then this evening, as the sun starts to set, it'll be nearly perfect out there by sunset. 73, mainly clear skies. And then overnight tonight, with those clear skies, look where the temperatures start tomorrow morning, getting very close to the upper 40s in northern locations. About 54 in Lafayette, 57 in Indianapolis, mid 50s from Bloomington over towards the Columbus area. So it's going to be a very cool start to your Wednesday, but with nothing but sunshine throughout the entire day. Those temperatures are going to warm up very, very quickly. Already 74 by the noon hour, with a high temperature tomorrow up to 80 degrees. We keep the temperatures for overnight lows in the 50s for both Thursday and Friday morning, although the high temperatures will be a little bit warmer in the low to mid 80s. And then as we work our way into race weekend, Lauren, temperatures back up into the mid 80s. Lots of sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Just a small chance of an isolated storm, it looks like, on race day, and then 84 on Monday, with mostly sunny skies.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, when we come back here, it is time for our Pet of the Week, and we want you to meet Pillsbury. We'll show you how you can make this little guy part of your family coming up just after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. It is time for our Pet of the Week from Indy Humane, and so today we want to introduce you to Pillsbury. Pillsbury is about 1.5 years old and has made quite the recovery since she was transferred to Indy Humane from Indianapolis Animal Care Services. I said he earlier. Sorry, Pillsbury. She's feeling much better after battling a skin condition, hair loss, and wounds on her paws. Very cute. Pillsbury is spunky, lovable, needs a family who understands that though she may look a little bit rough right now, so with some time, a prescription diet, and some TLC and a little quality of life, she's going to be fixed up and a great part of your family. So right now, Indy Humane is offering a 50% off adoption fee, so you can take Pillsbury home for just $87.50. If you want to make an appointment to see her, you can just go to indyhumane.org and hope she goes to a good family after all that, Todd.
Yeah, she's cute. I know how they got the name Pillsbury. You could see kind of the rolls on the side there, just like the Pillsbury Doughboy, but she's a cutie, and yeah, let's hope she gets a good home. All right, here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar, and you can see that we're dealing with the thunderstorms moving out of the area. We still have an isolated downpour near Greensburg, and that is just about it. But to the north, the skies are starting to clear. You can see that already. That trend will continue from north to south this afternoon. Turns into a beautiful evening for everybody, and then we continue to have nice weather for the remainder of the week. In fact, the next couple mornings are going to be really cool in the 50s, but in the 80s with sunshine Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then mid 80s return to the forecast, Lauren, for the weekend.
All right, Todd, looking forward to that, and thank you for joining us and making WRTV your choice for news. Come back, join us for the news at 5. Have a great Tuesday afternoon.